Patriots fans, what a ride it's been lately. That win over the Cleveland Browns felt like more than just another mark in the win column. It felt like a statement. You can sense it in the way the players carry themselves, the way the fans are reacting, and the way the entire league is starting to whisper. Are the Patriots actually for real this season? Could this be the year they break through and remind everyone why this franchise was once the standard in the NFL? Against the Browns, it wasn't just about the final score. It was about how they did it. Cleveland's defense has been one of the most feared in football all season long. Fast, physical, and relentless. Yet, somehow, New England found a way to take their punches and still deliver heavier ones in return. That's the kind of toughness that used to define Patriots football, and it's starting to come back. And the man at the center of it all is Drake Maye. Week after week, the kid is making believers out of skeptics. He's calm in the pocket, accurate under pressure, and completely unfazed by chaos. Even with Myles Garrett turning into a one-man wrecking crew and racking up 5 sacks, Maye still stood tall and delivered. Most rookie quarterbacks crumble under that kind of heat, but not this one. There's a poise to him, that unshakable confidence that says, "I've got this." You can feel it radiating through the entire offense. The stat sheet tells a story that's hard to ignore. Maye has now become just the 5th quarterback in NFL history. Yes, all of NFL history, to record at least 200 passing yards and a passer rating above 107 straight games. The names next to his on that list are legendary. Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, and Peyton Manning. That's the kind of company that makes you sit up a little straighter. It's not just a hot streak anymore. It's history in progress. But it wasn't only Maye carrying the team. For the first time in weeks, the running game actually found its rhythm. Trayvon Henderson, who fans had been waiting to see break out, finally got his chance and didn't waste it. 75 yards on the ground, tough runs between the tackles, and the kind of energy that ignited the whole offense. Ramondre Stevenson did his job too, grinding for every yard, protecting the football, and setting the tone physically. Together, they brought balance to an offense that's been too one-dimensional for most of the season. And let's not forget what this defense continues to do. No running back has managed to crack 50 yards against New England in 8 straight games. That hasn't happened since the 1950s. Think about that. In an era of high-powered offenses and versatile backs, this Patriots front 7 has completely shut the door on the ground game. They're fast, disciplined, and relentless. Mike Vrabel has them playing old-school football. Hit first, hit hard, and never let up. Even with Christian Barmore sitting out the first quarter due to internal discipline, the defense didn't miss a beat. When he came back in, it was like throwing gasoline on an already burning fire. The scary thing for opponents is that New England isn't just relying on defense anymore. This offense, led by Maye, is becoming something real. You can see it in the timing of the routes, the chemistry between the quarterback and his receivers, and the way the offensive line is starting to gel. Sure, there are still mistakes, protection breakdowns, missed assignments, a few costly penalties, but the identity is forming. It's starting to look like a team that believes again. And maybe the biggest story of all is how quickly Maye's numbers are stacking up against some of the game's greats. He now holds the franchise record for the most games in a single season with at least 200 passing yards, a passer rating over 135, and 2 or more passing touchdowns, passing Tom Brady's mark from the 2007 season. It's wild to even say that out loud. Brady's best statistical year, and here comes a second-year player matching and surpassing those milestones halfway through the season. Statistically, Maye is in elite territory. Only 3 second-year quarterbacks in the past 40 years have led the league in passer rating through the first 8 weeks. Kurt Warner in 1999, Ben Roethlisberger in 2005, and now Drake Maye. Both of those other names went on to win the Super Bowl that same year. Nobody's saying it's a guarantee, but the pattern is there. Of course, you can't just hand out championships based on stats. This is still a young Patriots team, one that's learning how to win consistently. But it's hard not to notice how much progress they've made. Earlier in the year, they were losing the kind of close games that great teams eventually figure out how to win. Now, those same situations are turning into victories. They're closing games, executing late, and making fewer of those back-breaking mistakes that used to haunt them. Even in a tough AFC loaded with contenders, New England's path forward is intriguing. The loss to the Raiders back in Week 1 still stings and might end up mattering when playoff seeding rolls around, but the schedule ahead gives them opportunities. The Falcons are up next, and while that game isn't a gimme, it's a matchup the Patriots can absolutely take. Then comes a trip to face the Buccaneers, a tougher test on the road, followed by winnable games against the Jets, Bengals, and Giants. The Bills and Ravens later in the season will be the true measuring stick, but for now, the Patriots have positioned themselves to stay right in the hunt. If they finish around 11-6 or 12-5, that could be enough to fight for the AFC East crown, depending on how Buffalo performs down the stretch. The good news? Their remaining schedule is one of the softest among teams currently in playoff position. The challenge now is staying healthy, staying sharp, and keeping that hunger alive. And as much as the focus is on Maye and the young offense, don't sleep on this coaching staff. The decision to bring in Mike Vrabel and give him control over the defensive philosophy has completely changed the culture. The players are buying in, the communication on the sideline looks sharper, and the results speak for themselves. You can see it in the way they swarm to the ball, the way they tackle, and the way they celebrate together. It feels like the kind of unity that's been missing in Foxborough for years. The Patriots might not be perfect, but for the first time in a long time, they're interesting again. There's life in the building. There's excitement on the field. And every week, you can feel that energy growing stronger. The quarterback is blossoming, the defense is suffocating, and the fan base, after a few seasons of frustration, finally has something to believe in again. And as this team prepares for its next challenge, you get the sense that this isn't just a feel-good story halfway through the season. This feels like the beginning of something. The start of a new era where the Patriots aren't just trying to rebuild their legacy. They're trying to redefine it. Looking ahead, things are getting more interesting by the week for this Patriots team. The win over Cleveland didn't just boost morale. It gave the locker room a real sense of identity. You can tell that the players are starting to trust the system, to trust one another, and most importantly, to trust Drake Maye to lead them through the ups and downs of the season. That's not something that happens overnight. It takes time, confidence, and results. Now, they finally have all three. There's a different energy surrounding Maye lately. You can see it in his body language, in the way his teammates rally around him after a big play, in the way he communicates on the sideline. He's not just managing games anymore. He's commanding them. His reads are sharper, his anticipation has improved, and his throws have that perfect blend of touch and velocity that separate good quarterbacks from special ones. When the pocket collapses, he doesn't panic. He finds a way to extend the play by a few extra seconds and deliver a strike. That's elite-level poise, and it's something you can't really teach. And while it's easy to get lost in all the praise for Maye, the truth is the supporting cast is also evolving in real time. The offensive line, which struggled early in the year, has quietly turned into one of the more dependable units in the AFC. The communication up front has improved dramatically, and that's been key to keeping Maye upright and allowing the offense to stay on schedule. Even with Myles Garrett causing chaos, the line held its ground when it mattered most. Trayvon Henderson's breakout against the Browns might be the turning point the backfield needed. Every good offense needs balance, and now that the run game is producing, defenses can't just sit back and drop 8 into coverage. Henderson's patience, combined with Stevenson's physicality, gives New England that classic 1-2 punch that has defined their best offenses in the past. With more weeks like that, the pressure on Maye lessens, and the play action becomes even more dangerous. Defensively, the story continues to be dominance and discipline. The Patriots' ability to stop the run forces opponents into predictable passing situations, and that's where their defensive backs thrive. The secondary, led by young, hungry corners and versatile safeties, is starting to look like one of the most complete groups in the conference. They're physical at the line, quick to close space, and smart with their positioning. The mix of zone disguises and aggressive man coverage has confused quarterbacks all season long, and that's exactly what Vrabel wanted when he installed this hybrid scheme. Christian Barmore's short, disciplinary benching last week could have been a distraction, but it wasn't. If anything, It showed the standard that this coaching staff is setting, accountability over everything. No matter who you are, the message is clear. You play smart, you play disciplined, or you don't play at all. That's how championship cultures are built. It's not about favoritism or flash. It's about consistency and commitment. The question now is how far this team can go. The AFC is stacked, no doubt about it. The Chiefs are still the team to beat. The Ravens are heating up again. The Bills, even when inconsistent, remain dangerous. But the Patriots have something those other teams might not: momentum and hunger. They were written off before the season even started, counted out by analysts and fans alike. And that chip on their shoulder is fueling every snap, every drive, every hit. The upcoming stretch of games will define who they really are. The Falcons' matchup should be winnable, but it won't be easy. Atlanta is getting healthier, and with Michael Penix Jr. and Drake London expected back, it's a team that can move the ball when everything clicks. After that comes a road test in Tampa Bay, a place that still carries emotional weight for New England fans. Facing the Buccaneers means dealing with a physical defense and a crowd that knows how to get loud. If the Patriots can survive that environment, it'll say a lot about their maturity. Then come the Jets and Bengals, two teams that are unpredictable but beatable. The Jets' defense remains elite, but their offense continues to struggle, and New England has a knack for making life miserable for young quarterbacks. Cincinnati, on the other hand, has the talent to explode any given Sunday, but they've also been inconsistent. The Patriots' defensive front could cause real problems for that offensive line if they play with the same discipline they've shown lately. The real test will come late in the season against the Bills and Ravens. Buffalo has already shown flashes of their old dominance, and the Patriots will need to be nearly perfect to steal that one. The Ravens are a different beast: fast, aggressive, and physical. If Lamar Jackson is healthy, that'll be one of the toughest games of the year. But even if those matchups don't go their way, this team has positioned itself to stay in the playoff picture until the very end. And let's not ignore the possibility of some late-season roster movement. The league's trade deadline could bring surprises, and while there's been chatter around names like A.J. Brown, it's still unclear whether New England will actually make a move. It's not impossible. Brown's history with Mike Vrabel and his open frustration in Philadelphia have fans dreaming, but it's far from certain. What's clear, though, is that this front office is finally thinking aggressively again. They're not content to just sit back and rebuild slowly. They're looking to compete now, and if the right opportunity presents itself, they'll take it. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to Patriots Hub and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our New England Patriots. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In what's being whispered as one of the most audacious moves of the NFL offseason, Minkah Fitzpatrick appears to have been quietly scooped up by the New England Patriots, sending shockwaves through the league. Sources close to the situation hint that the acquisition was nothing short of a masterstroke, catching fans and rival teams off guard. Known for his versatility and instinctive playmaking ability in the secondary, Fitzpatrick has long been a coveted asset, but few saw New England making the bold leap to bring him into their fold. Insiders are suggesting that this move might not just be about filling a position, but rather about sending a message. The Patriots are quietly but decisively reshaping their defense. Fitzpatrick's track record of interceptions, coverage prowess, and sideline-to-sideline speed fits perfectly with what Bill Belichick values in a defensive back. The chatter around league circles hints that New England's front office worked tirelessly behind the scenes, exploiting a narrow window of opportunity that others either ignored or underestimated. Fans are already buzzing with speculation. Could Fitzpatrick's arrival signal a renewed Super Bowl push, or is it the first piece of a more intricate roster puzzle the Patriots are quietly assembling? While the organization has remained tight-lipped, the timing and secrecy of the move have only fueled the rumor mill. Analysts are debating whether this is a reaction to recent defensive shortcomings or a proactive attempt to build a dynasty-ready roster for the coming years. Meanwhile, the social media landscape is ablaze. Patriot supporters are dreaming of game-changing interceptions and lockdown coverage, while skeptics are raising eyebrows, questioning whether this gamble will truly pay off. What's clear though, is that the NFL landscape has just shifted in an instant. If the whispers hold any truth, this could easily be remembered as one of Belichick's slickest moves in recent memory. A coup that, for now, lives in rumor and speculation, but has the potential to reshape the narrative around New England football entirely. Whether Fitzpatrick thrives in Foxborough or the story evolves differently, one thing is undeniable. The Patriots have made a splash, and the league is watching, waiting, and talking. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our New England Patriots, be sure to subscribe to Patriots Hub and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.